When it comes to bragging rights, the best ones are the ones in your own neighborhood. Tonight from Solomon Court in Boston, the Terriers of Boston University visit the Huskies of Northeastern. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry. Thanks so much for joining us for the 121st meeting of this storied rivalry. After winning its first three, Boston University has dropped its last two. And Ron, for the Terriers to get on track tonight, they will no doubt rely heavily on last season's America East Rookie of the Year.
They really will, and the sophomore is off to a very good start this year. His name is Paul Seymour, and Paul's the team's leading scorer. He's also the top three-point threat for the Terriers. Look for him in this game to get the ball, and he can really fire it up from the perimeter.
Northeastern has lost 4 of its first 5, and I know there's snow on the ground outside, but I don't care what the weather's like. There's one Husky who's always ready to blossom.
That's right, Marcus Blossom, the senior backcourt man for the Huskies, and he's a really strong player from the outside as well. He can also slash to the basket. See what he did a year ago, leading the team in scoring, and the top three-point man as well for Rudy Keeling's club. Look for him to get it going.
BU won all 3 meetings with Northeastern last year. What do the Terriers have to do to beat the Huskies again tonight?
They've got to play solid defense. Dennis Wolf's clubs are known for it, holding teams to 42% shooting this year from the floor, and they've got to do a good job on the backboards, particularly boxing out. And on the other side of the coin for the Huskies, they want an up-tempo game, try to get a running game going. They're very athletic, not real big, and they've been turning it over 20 times a game. They've got to take good care of it to win this game.
They're also not very deep, only dressing 10, and one of the 5 coming off the bench will be junior college transfer Ricky Cranford. They hope to get some points off the bench from him. Back with the starting lineups in the opening tip between BU and Northeastern after this. Welcome back to Solomon Court in Boston in the America East opener between Boston University and Northeastern. Let's check the starting lineups first for the visiting BU Terriers. Junior Stame Doan, coming off a big game and a loss to Harvard the other night, had 14 points and 6 rebounds. He's the second leading rebounder on the team. And for the home team, the Huskies of Northeastern, Tyrone Hammock is leading the America East in field goal shooting percentage. He's hit on 63% of his shots thus far this year. The coach of the BU Terriers is Dennis Wolf in his 7th year. He is only 6 wins away from becoming the winningest coach in school history. And Rudy Keeling is in his 5th season as coach at Northeastern, just long enough to get a taste of this 80-year-old rivalry.
The rivalry is just amazing. BU and Northeastern are as close as they can be. We're literally crosstown from each other. The one-loss percentage between the two schools is within 2 games. It's just something that has evolved, and it's what you would want to have as a college rivalry.
These two campuses at one point, their closest point, are 400 meters away. And Rudy mentioned the series standings can't get much closer than that. BU ahead by 2 only because the Terriers swept all 3 games last season.
Yeah, and it's always a good matchup. This is somewhat of a contrast in styles, too, this year. BU would like to slow the pace down. They'd like to keep the game in the high 50s or in the 60s, and you can see that BU leads that all-time series. Northeastern would like to push the pace in this game. They're very athletic. They'd like to run, and they're always tough on the offensive boards.
The officials tonight, Rich Giolella, that's Rich on your screen right now, along with Joe Vigna and Gary Agger. BU 3 up and 2 down. Northeastern 1-4. This the conference opener for both. Last year these two teams both finished 5-13 in the league in a 2-way tie for 8th place, and they wound up playing each other in the opening round of the America East tournament at the University of Delaware. And the Terriers won that one going away by 26 points. But a lot of new faces, Ron, on each club.
Now, that's right. This is a very young Boston University team. Kevin Fitzgerald, a freshman. Paul Seymour, I should say, just a sophomore. Jason Grokowalski, a freshman. And Ryan Butt, freshman. So you got a lot of young players, and you've got that senior key guy for Northeastern with Marcus Blossom.
And Seymour is jumping center along with Francois. Tap controlled by Northeastern. Gene Bain with the ball. Defended on the perimeter by Matt Turner, and the Terriers come out Ron man-to-man.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a triangle in 2. Looks like a triangle inside. man-to-man pressure on the two guards out there. Kind of an interesting look by Dennis Wolf to start.
And you mentioned the turnover problem for the Huskies, averaging 20 per game. They had 27 in their opening night loss to Navy, and they turn it over just 15 seconds into this one.
Well, Gene Bain and Marcus Blossom, the two key handlers for Northeastern, they're being played man-to-man. This looks like straight man up by Northeastern at the other end.
Seymour down low. The turnaround jump hook by Ryan Budd, who already has 2 more points tonight than he did 3 nights ago in the loss to Harvard.
Big, strong kid, 6'7", 240, just a freshman. Nice turnaround jumper that time.
And again, it is the triangle in 2. Off the miss, the rebound inside by Hammock. One of his rare misses. He's shooting 63% from the floor. Seymour gets the high screen from Don't and buries the runner.
Nice start by Boston University, and this defense kind of confusing Northeastern so far. Better off to run a man-to-man type offense against it, but you can see Bain with the ball and Blossom being covered man-to-man. Then there's the triangle zone inside.
Right side jumper is good by Gene Francois, a freshman from West Palm Beach, Florida.
What that defense does, Bob, is it forces other people other than Bain and Blossom to step up, as Francois did on that one.
Turner on the perimeter gives up his dribble. Now finds Seymour looking inside. Butt on the left, and as Butt puts it on the floor, we get a whistle and a holding call on Hammock. First foul of the evening. And our first substitution of the evening as well. And Blossom, or Barnes rather, is going to depart for the Huskies. Inbound pass Seymour on the baseline.
It's like Cranford coming in real quickly for Rudy Keeling. Get some offense going.
Pass into the post is juggled by Button. We head the other way following the Boston University turnover. It's 4-2 Terriers. We've played nearly 2 minutes. Glad you could join us for our America East telecast. And Francois showing the nice touch from the right side. He's got all 4 of Northeastern's points.
Nice job by Francois. We've talked about some young players in this game, and Rudy Keeling excited about some of his young players. Francois, just a freshman. He's one of them.
Don't puts it on the floor, then tried to go backdoor to Fitzgerald. The pass deflected, winds up in the hands of Blossom on the right. Cranford, my, did he get up the wing.
Well, as we talked about Northeastern, they'd like to get out and run. A lot of times you get that when you steal the ball and you get out on the break. Blossom to Cranford that time, showing you why.
Cranford coming from Coffeyville Community College. This is his first year in the Northeastern program. Butt goes backdoor again to Fitzgerald, to Seymour. Tries to dribble past Cranford, and it's rejected by Francois. He's second in the America East in that category. Inside intended for Cranford, we go the other way, and look at Don't at 6'7", stealing it, and then running the break to perfection.
Beautifully done, getting it to the point guard, Kevin Fitzgerald, for the finish. Thought Hammock had a nice look from Blossom last time from about 10 feet. One too many passes that time by the Huskies.
Again, Turner defending Bain. And Seymour on Blossom in this triangle in 2. The head of the triangle is Fitzgerald, and Francois is 3 for 3.
Doing a nice job. He's taking what the defense is giving him right now, and Francois got the range. Good offensive start to this game by both clubs.
He's averaging 9, already has 6 tonight, and another turnover for the Terriers. We head the other way. Francois on the break, finds the open man, Blossom. Rebound batted around and winds up in the lap of Fitzgerald. We've played nearly 4 minutes, and it's a 2-point Northeastern lead. On the weave, Turner for 3. Rebound inside to Seymour. Seymour, the 7th leading scorer in the America East, coming off a 20-point effort in defeat against Harvard the other night.
You can see the defense now. It's a 1-3-1. Looks like another adjustment. They're matching up out of it. It's definitely confusing Northeastern.
Francois on the right. He's 3 for 3 from the floor. Now tried to feed into the post. It wasn't there, and it's knocked away. Last touch by Don't. 13 left on the shot clock for Northeastern when we return from our first time out of the night. 15:29 to go in the half, and we're all even at 8. We're all even at 8. 15:29 to go in the first half, and thus far it's been the Jean Francois show for the Huskies.
Done a nice job. Special defense set up by the Terriers. He's been wide open. Nice passing there by Blossom, and he's just filling it up and scorching the net so far. Nice defense that time as well on the Seymour shot that got rejected, but it's been Francois connecting for the Huskies so far.
There you see he's made all 3 of his shots. That block was his 12th of the season. He's tied for second in the America East in that department. Leads the Huskies. Now 12 seconds left on the shot clock, and the little jump hook in the lane by Hammock for his first points of the night.
Good shots by Northeastern so far. They're shooting it very well. They're shooting 46% on the year, and seems like they're ahead of that pace so far.
Yep, 5 for 8 in the early going from the floor. And on the sideline, we're going to get a foul away from the ball on the Huskies. It will be called on Cranford, his first and 2 on the team. Checking into the lineup for the first time for the BU Terriers is Jacob Kudlatz, number 23, 6'8" sophomore from Glen Cove, New York, born in Poland. This is Derek Breland, number 10, at the point. Nice lob down low for Kudlatz, blocked from behind by Francois, and it will be Huskies ball. So Francois getting it done at both ends.
He's really got it going so far, and he got beat that time. He fronted his man. No weak side help, though.
On the right, it's Blossom. Reverses up top to Cranford, who juggles, then fires up the 3. Rebound, Francois. Finally did something wrong. Last touch by the Huskies. Dennis Wolf, just 5 wins shy of the all-time record for a BU coach. The record held by Mike Jarvis, now at St. John's. He's already passed Rick Pitino. Wolf in his 7th year here at BU.
Some good company there. Dennis has done a very nice job with the Terrier program, and certainly the names of Mike Jarvis. Now at St. John's.
Boy, did they lose a tough one today at the Garden of Fordham. Francois with the steal, but can't save. So it will be Terriers ball. Shot clock says 17, and it will not recycle. So BU will inbound directly in front of us on the side in the backcourt. Rudy Keeling spent 8 years at Maine before taking the Northeastern job, so he has spent all 13 years of his head coaching career in the America East. Shot clock now down to 5. Long jump Seymour, missed everything, so it didn't recycle. Last touch by the Terriers.
Not sure if Blossom got a piece of that ball, but certainly in any event was right on Seymour with a hand in his face. You can see the defense setting up. Looks like a 1-2-2 zone, but it's a real matchup event.
Bain gets the high pick. Can't get the shot to go. At halftime, we will feature Gene Bain, the junior from Medford, Massachusetts, and his remarkable comeback from Hodgkin's disease. You want to stick around and see that.
That's a great story. He's a kid that's really persevered, and he's got the knee brace on because he blew the knee out. So he's a kid that's really hung in there.
Breland. Pass into the post to Kudlatz, and Francois will be called for the reach-in foul. That's number 1 on him and 3 on the team. In the lineup for BU, Billy Collins, a Mutch Valley who transferred from Rutgers. Number 30, who is just back from a stress fracture. This is only his 2nd game back, and he was a little rusty against Harvard the other night. Missed all 7 of his shots and turned the ball over 4 times. But Dennis Wolf told me he is a legitimate Big East caliber player. And as soon as he gets into game shape, he's going to be a big part of this BU offense. On the right, it's Breland. Might have forced that one. Rebound. Seymour way up in the air for the putback.
Nice job by Seymour. He's the guy we talked about from the perimeter, but he jumped center at the beginning of the game and not afraid to go inside either.
Seymour, a sophomore from Liverpool, New York. On the right, Barnes misses the shot. Rebound is pulled down by Jason Grokowalski, who was checked in for the Terriers. Terriers much deeper at this stage of the season than Northeastern. Up high, Seymour. Now Breland finds Collins for three. Long rebound is pulled down by Kudlots, and Francois with his third block of the evening.
Boy, and he came down with the rebound. He's doing it all so far for the Huskies.
Hammock, high post right side jumper. His second field goal of the night.
Hammock's been very consistent so far this year for Northeastern. You mentioned he's shooting better than 60% from the field and averaging better than 14 points. He knocks it down.
2-point Northeastern lead. We've played 8 minutes. Seymour to Breland. Defended by Bain. Inside Kudlots, and great hustle by Hammock for the steal. Here's a 1-on-3. Let's see what Blossom does. Goes behind the back, then looks for help, and it's Francois to bail him out.
Way to think on your feet if you're Marcus Blossom. You never leave your feet without knowing where you're going to go with it. But boy, he recovered nicely, and Francois continues to scorch the nets.
4 for 5 from the floor, 2 rebounds, 3 block shots. Breland, nice penetration, and there's Francois with his 4th block. Blossom in the lane, on the left Bain, ball fake, gives to Barnes. Right side Blossom spins, then finds the cutter Hammock, and rebound pulled down by Kudlots.
I'm looking for Francois again right there, saying give it to the man with the hot hand. Watching Collins run around out there, he looks like he's still limping a bit, Bob. That foot's still got to be bothering him.
Blossom, by the way, is yet to score, although he does have 3 assists. Nice backdoor cut to Collins, and those are his first points in a Boston University uniform.
Well, when you're playing that overplay type defense, which Northeastern is right now, look for the Terriers to do a little bit more of that ball faking and cutting back door for the easy layup.
2-point Northeastern lead. We've nearly gone halfway through a rapidly played first half. Barnes with the drop step in the lane. Junior college transfer from Sage Junior College. His second and final year in the Northeastern program, so it's Huskies by 4. Seymour finds Collins on the right.
This is the pace that the Terriers want right here. They're just having trouble stopping Northeastern at the other end.
Breland finds Kudlots in the lane. Collins with the rebound. Tipped up and in by Kudlots with the left.
Now, we said that was one of the keys in this game. Bang the backboards for BU. I thought Northeastern would be the better offensive rebounding team. They're just shooting it in, but BU working very hard off the glass.
Northeastern dead last in the 10-team America East in rebounding, and Barnes will be called on the foul for setting the screen. Timeout, 9:36 to go in the first half in Boston. And Northeastern 1-4 on the year, off to a 2-point lead over Dennis Wolf and his Terriers. Well, I'm not sure whether it's the oldest play in the book or the second oldest in the pick and roll, but when executed, it's a thing of beauty.
Now, Breland does a nice job right there. The backdoor cut to Billy Collins, and he did a nice job to go behind Barnes. There's the pump, and he goes right behind him. We hear about the backdoor. There it is. And against the Northeastern overplay, look for BU to see if they can find that a couple more times.
Collins getting a rest after scoring his first points in this his second game. Missed the first 4, coming off that stress fracture with the left foot. Ball juggled on the sideline by Butt. Don't saves, and wild pass to Seymour. Now down low to Butt, who spins. He's doubled. Seymour for 3. Got it!
Oh, man, that's what you call quick release that time by Seymour knocking it down.
Seymour with 9 of BU's 17 points. So the Terriers regained the lead with exactly 9 minutes to go in the half.
But 6'6", he can get those shots off.
The ball went into the post to George Agar, who had it stolen away. Fitzgerald back in at the point. Now down low, Jerome Graham checks into the lineup and doesn't waste long getting on the board. 6'7" junior from Minneapolis with his first points of the night.
Good defense right there by the Terriers. You see it time and time again, generating the offense off the defensive steal.
And coming the other way is Cranford, the 6'5" junior from Queens. So back and forth we go. It's BU by 1. 8:20 remaining first half. Seymour for 3 more. And the rebound batted around and controlled along the baseline by Cranford.
That one might have been a little quick that time. Another extra pass before you let that one go.
Barnes to Agar, was having trouble hanging onto the ball. He's lost it twice with 2 touches. Fitzgerald no good, and Agar with good hustle for the rebound. And the reach-in foul will be called on Stain Don't, young man from Belgium. And that will be foul number 1 on Don't. And that's the first foul of the night on the Terriers. We played 12 minutes, and the first foul. They're the visiting team, aren't they? Although to say, you can say they're the visiting team, but to call them the road team would be a little much.
You can almost jog over. Well, there's been a lot of jump shots that have gone in for Northeastern. They've shot it real well, so you're not committing as many fouls when that happens. In this matchup zone, Terriers are staying in it right now. It's a 1-2-2.
Blossom just inside the 3-point line with his first points of the night. So it took them 12.5 minutes to get on the board.
Huskies have had excellent balance scoring this year, and Blossom has led the way, along with Ty Hammock.
Northeastern shooting 56% from the floor. Great weak side steal for the moment by Tim West, but he stepped on the end line. Timeout, 7:22 to go in the first half, and Northeastern with a 1-point lead over BU. Bob Picozzi and Ron Perry back at Solomon Court in downtown Boston, where Northeastern leads BU by a point. 7:22 to go in the first half, and the 121st meeting between these two rivals that are located, what, about a 4-wood and a 8-iron away? What would you say? That'd be for you.
Yeah, right. It's pretty close. I tell you, it's been a great rivalry. Both schools are located very much near each other. Good start to this game. Both teams are shooting it well, getting after it, and if you like good offense and some good hustle, you're seeing that in the early part of this game.
22 seconds left on the shot clock for BU as the Terriers inbound beneath their own hoop. Fitzgerald around the screen comes Grokowalski, missed everything, and on the rebound a wicked collision, and we're going to get a foul called, I think, on Graham for BU. That will be his first and only 2 on the Terriers. Speaking of this rivalry, Ron, Rudy Keeling was telling me our kids play in the summer against their kids. Sometimes they play in our gym, sometimes they play in their gym, but once they take the court in a game, there's no love lost. 3 no good, and on the rebound bodies go flying, specifically Jason Grokowalski's body. Presumably he got a little push, and the foul will be called on Hammock, his first. And back in the lineup for Northeastern is Gene Bain. Make that 2 fouls on Hammock.
It's like a little pressure here by Northeastern, and the Terriers line up with the man out of bounds. Collins with 4 guys across.
And getting a hand on in the backcourt was Bain. Fitzgerald will bring it across. 1-point Northeastern lead, just under 7 minutes remaining. First half. Collins around the pick. He's back in after a short respite. On the right, beats Cranford on the dribble, then doubled, and his pass back to Grokowalski, his last touch by Grokowalski, because of great hustle by Blossom.
Again, I'm looking at Collins moving around out there. He's coming back from that stress fracture. Looks like he's limping a bit on the foot. So obviously he's still a little bit sore as he's trying to play through it.
Played 14 minutes the other night against Harvard in his first game in a BU uniform. No points, 4 rebounds, 0 for 7 from the floor, and he turned it over 4 times. And Dennis Wolf told me he looked like someone who hadn't played in 5 weeks, which, by the way, he hadn't. In the lane, Bain stops, misses everything with the shot.
Like the triangle again by BU that time. Nice.
Look at the feed from Turner to Collins. Matt Turner with the long bounce pass off the dribble.
He almost lost the ball and then contained it. It looked like it was going away from him. Great pass.
Right side jumper is good by Cranford. Ricky Cranford began his high school career at Benjamin Cardozo High School in New York, finished up at St. Thomas More in Colchester, Connecticut, began his college career at St. Louis University, then on to Coffeyville Community College. So he's had a few stops along the way. Pass to Collins off his hands and out of bounds. Turnover number 6 for the Terriers.
Well, you can see Matt Turner right there, the one-hander.
Threaded the needle.
Got to admit, Bob, I'm not a big fan of the one-handers, but when it works like this, it's one of those, oh, come on, use 2, but makes it go. Bullet pass. And there's Billy Collins with his second bucket for the Terriers.
Great feed by Turner. Certainly no margin for error on that one. Pass into the post. Francois did a good job of sealing the defender, but couldn't catch the ball.
We see that turnover a lot. You've got to get that ball to the wing, down into the corner, and then dump it inside. And Rudy Keeling realizing that his Huskies have got to take good care of the ball. Turnovers pretty close so far in this ball game.
There you see the turnover story. Northeastern 5th in the America East in turnover ratio. BU 4th. Kudlatz hands to Seymour for the long 3. Rebound fought for and controlled by Tim West of Northeastern.
Did a nice job to shield the ball there. He cradled it with 3 Terriers all around him.
And as Cranford starts to go, he will draw the foul. A couple of red shirts there. Seymour will get whistled for the foul. That's his first and 3 on the team.
Nice penetration here by Cranford. Kind of got sandwiched there, and Seymour never moved his feet, didn't get in front of him. As a result, picked up the body foul.
So it's a 1-point Northeastern lead inside the 5-minute mark. Bain on the right, Cranford, catch and shoot. Carries it, the high archer over Collins.
Ball's got to be feeling good tonight, Bobby. You know, if you were out there, I'd be looking for you to throw that J down. Guys are really swishing it tonight.
8 points already for Cranford, who had a huge game in a loss to Miami. 20 points and 10 rebounds. Solid effort that night for the Huskies before going down to defeat on the road against the Big East team. And as Butt puts it on the floor, he will draw a foul on West. That will be number 1 on West and 6 on the team.
Saw Ryan Butt early with the turnaround, and that time West just drove his shoulder into him. Collision of a couple of big boys that time. 240 pounds meets 230 pounds.
Collins with a great look to Fitzgerald, and look at tiny 5'11" Gene Bain with the block from behind.
Rudy Keeling's team has played some solid man-to-man defense in this first half. It's been a good battle both ways. Good recovery there by Bain. He stayed right with it.
Cranford. No good. Rebound off Collins. Hands to Francois. And Butt may have had a piece of him. Foul number 1 on Butt. 4 on the team into the free throw line. Will go Jean Francois. Northeastern in the first 5 games have blocked 24 shots. And already with 6 blocks tonight.
Yeah, the other problem Northeastern's had so far with their 1-4 start is that they have been out-rebounded by 8 boards a game, and that's a critical component they've got to improve upon. They're always tough going to the boards. They're just not a real big team this year, so they've got to do it as a team and all hit the boards.
Yeah, Rudy Keeling told me we were able to get the game played at our tempo the other night against Holy Cross, but it didn't matter because they murdered us off the boards. The Crusaders out rebounding Rudy's Huskies 44-34 in the ball game. As a result, got to the line 19 more times. Well, it's tough to win when the other team takes 19 more free throws in the game.
Absolutely, and Josh Sankus for Holy Cross, 7 feet 1 inches, and he's pretty tough to contain and had a big size advantage.
Sankus, a former teammate at Rutgers of BU's Billy Collins before both transferring out. Up top with it is Don't, puts it on the floor, then down low to Butt, and as he goes up, he's called for traveling, and Dennis Wolf can't believe it.
But Gene Bain caught him on the wrist that time, and that was Dennis Wolf's reaction.
Timeout, 3:45 to go in the first half, and Northeastern looking for its 2nd win of the year with a 3-point lead over BU. It's Northeastern by 3 over Boston University, and the number of Reggie Lewis hanging here in Solomon Court. Reggie scored 2,709 points during his magnificent career here at Northeastern, coached by current UConn coach Jim Calhoun. Huskies went to the NCAA tournament 5 times while Calhoun was here, 4 times when Reggie Lewis was.
He had a great career, consistent for 4 years, and really lit it up and excited the fans here, not only at Northeastern in Boston, but throughout New England.
Northeastern winning 7 America East titles in the 21-year history of this league. Francois missing a shot from the left, only his 2nd miss in 6 attempts. Northeastern by 3, just over 3 minutes remaining. Seymour goes down the lane. Bud on the right puts it on the floor and is called for traveling. That's 2 straight travels on the 6'7" freshman from Landisfield, Pennsylvania.
Just tried to do a little bit too much that time. Get it down there, you're bottled up, kick it outside, and then move without the basketball.
3-point Huskies lead. Northeastern's lone win on the year at home against North Carolina Greensboro. Have home losses to Harvard and Holy Cross. Harvard the lone common opponent for these 2 teams. The Crimson beat both. And West will be called for his 2nd foul on setting the screen, and that's 7 on the Huskies. So the Terriers should go down the other end of the floor and shoot some free throws. Ron, we hear so much each year about the points of emphasis which change from year to year among the officials, and one of them this year, or the main one this year, is to clean up play, to try to get rid of some of the rough play. And we're seeing guys who set screens, unless you say stay stationary, you're going to get nailed.
That's right. In the post play, they've been doing a good job to clean that up. That time the signal was for more or less a clearing out elbow down low. You get called for the foul, and if there's movement with the screen, you get called. Look at Grokowalski, 94.
They found the wrong guy.
Huh? From the line?
He's now 17 of 18 from the line this year. Leads the America East.
Jason's dad, John, was a great player in his day back at Assumption College in the Worcester area. And Jason from Shrewsbury, Mass. And you'll see what we're talking about inside right there, just clearing out and picking up the foul.
And Grokowalski buries them both. Last year, he sat out the year with a shoulder separation. So he was redshirted.
3/4 court pressure, 1-2-2. Giving Northeastern another look now just to bring it up and take some time off the clock.
Huskies by 1. Cranford gets the high screen from Agar, then out to Bain. To Agar at the foul line. Cranford puts it on the floor, shoots over the much shorter Breland. Ricky Cranford with 10 points in the early going.
He's a nice player. It looks like on the inbounds play, the Terriers have turned it over by stepping over the line. That's careless. Cranford with that nice jump shot. He's showing a very soft touch in the first half of this game.
On the run off the Northeastern miss. Grokowalski will get himself right back to the line. That's like an automatic 2.
Good fast break action again by the Terriers. We've seen more or less a pace that I think is more BU style in this first half. They've run when they've had to or had the opportunity, otherwise set up. But Northeastern has just shot the ball very well. Dennis Wolf's had some nice matchup zone defense and some triangling too. But the Huskies have done a pretty good job filling up the jump shots.
2nd foul on Cranford and 8 on the team. And how about that? Grokowalski finally missed one, only his 2nd miss of the year. Cranford will leave with 10 points. Cranford in the first 5 games this year averaging 12 points per game coming off the bench. So
he's got a cut.
So Grokowalski will have to get that mended before he can be allowed to go back to the line to shoot the 2nd free throw. Your America East Conference merchandise is as close as your home computer when you visit the online store at americaeast.com. Shop online to get your conference media guides, t-shirts, hats, and more. And while you're there, be sure to browse the site, www.americaeast.com, for all the stats, stuff, stories, and more. Inopportune time for Mr. Grokowalski to need some medical attention, although Butt makes the free throw anyway.
He wanted to knock that free throw down. He was not happy about not getting the first one in, but Butt does a good job to get that one to go. Now check it out. You've got a 3-2 zone defense by BU, and they're matching up very nicely against Blossom and Bain in the perimeter.
Into the post, Francois, back out to Blossom for three.
Didn't get to him that time. Blossom, the team's top three-point shooter, gets that one to go. Seen some nice inside-out passing in this first half.
5 points for Blossom on his 10th three-pointer of the season. Blossom is 4th in the America East in three-point field goal percentage. Turner tries to beat his man Blossom off the dribble but can't. Around the screen comes Seymour, spins, head fake, misses the shot, tipped up by Butt, no good. And then Graham gets a hand on it for BU, and it's run down along the sideline by Blossom. 5-point Northeastern lead as we approach the 1-minute mark. Bain, Blossom, head fake, foul line pull-up. Rebound, Agar, and Agar is tied up, held ball, possession arrow pointing toward BU. And Fitzgerald will re-enter the game for Boston University as we look at Rudy Keeling. His club 22-2 in his 5 years here when they hold the opposition under 40% shooting. Thus far tonight, in 19 minutes, BU shooting 37%.
Played tough man-to-man. They've been aggressive and they've been consistent with it, really forcing the Terriers deep and turning it over on occasion.
Turnover number 10 for BU. Dennis Wolf told me the other day he was so upset with the way they played against Harvard. He said, I know we were off for 9 days before, and we acted like it. We looked like a team that had been off 9 days, but that's no excuse. Some of our turnovers were frankly high schoolish.
Well, they get off to such a good start. They win their first three, then they go 3-1. He wants to have a good game in that one, and they just come out very flat.
Shot clock and the game clock about 11 seconds apart. Bain, right side to Blossom. Shot clock now at 10. On the pick and roll to Agar.
Classic basketball. We saw the backdoor cut earlier, and if you like pick and roll action, Blossom with a fine bounce pass feed to the post that time.
Dennis Wolf is going to use a timeout. You get 1 full and 4 30s, and you can only carry over 4 of the 5 to the second half, so it's a use it or lose it situation, and he'll use it.
Nice pass here. Look at right between the two defenders that time. The man covering Agar jumps out, and Blossom does a nice job to just split the two defenders with a bounce pass. That's pretty right there. And then Agar does the rest as you see Butt coming over to help out, but just not quick enough that time. Good execution by Rudy Keeling's team in this first half. They've shot it very well, and they've defended nicely. Dennis Wolf, though, their team right in it. He wants to get a good possession right here. That's a smart timeout right now.
Dennis Wolf told me in order to win, we need to hold teams in the 60s. They're not very big, so we'll try to pound it inside whenever we can. And thus far, the Terriers only 1 of 7 from three-point range. On the year, shooting a respectable 34% from behind the arc. Northeastern, on the flip side, leads the America East in three-point shooting percentage at 42. And now Rudy Keeling is going to use a 30-second timeout right on the heels of the BU timeout.
Little strategy. I mean, for Dennis Wolf's team right now, this game very well could play out in the 60s. The problem is Northeastern is playing this half-court tempo and shooting it very well in this first half.
It's never too early to get your all-tournament passes for the 2001 America East Conference Men's Basketball Championship. Join all 10 conference members at Delaware's Bob Carpenter Center, Friday, March 2nd through Sunday, March 4th for a great weekend of championship basketball. Ron and I will be on hand to bring you the semifinals on many of these America East network stations, and it's always a great affair and great facility at Delaware. Following the back-to-back timeouts, Seymour hits the 3 and he beats the halftime buzzer. So Paul Seymour with 12 of his team's 27 points, pulling his club within 4.
Wow, nice finish for BU. They close it to 4. A lot of pressure by the Huskies, and it seemed like the ball was going to be stolen a couple of times, but Matt Turner able to find the open man, and they found the right man, Paul Seymour, with the tray.
Only the second three-pointer in the ball game for the Terriers, both of them from Seymour.
Hey, if you can get it to your top shooter like that with time running out, perfect execution. And you can see the signal there for the three. That was right in the basket. Nice job by Seymour.
So Seymour, the 7th leading scorer in the America East, and he's the leading scorer in this ball game. It's halftime, and Northeastern leads Boston University by a score of 31-27. Bob Picozzi, Ron Perry back in Boston. Northeastern leading Boston University 31-27. Leading scorers for the Huskies in the first half. Charles Cranford goes by the name of Ricky. That's what everyone knows him as. Off the bench for 10. Francois with 8 all early, along with 4 blocks. And Marcus Blossom held to only 5 points. So the Terriers have done a good job defending Blossom. Marcus inbounding directly in front of us to start the second half. Seymour with nearly half of BU's 27 points. Collins off the bench with 4 and Butt with 3.
In a big basket by Seymour right at the halftime buzzer to close the gap to 4 points. A nice 3-point shot. We'll see who can get the early second half momentum.
And Cranford starting the second half for Rudy Keeling's Huskies. Pass into the post deflected by Butt. Back to Hammock. Shot clock at 10. Bain on the right takes it into the land of the Giants. Knocked loose for a moment by Don't. Shot clock at 2, and Ricky Cranford from almost the same spot where Seymour hit.
Rudy Keeling got his hands up in that field goal position, saying that's a 3-pointer. And that's a really nice job by Cranford, because BU had done a solid job to work the shot clock all the way down.
So 13 points for Cranford off the bench. Biggest lead of the night for either team, now 7 for the Huskies. Don't, who didn't score in the first half. Didn't take him long to get going here in the second half.
Nice penetration. No help out defense that time by the Huskies.
Bain to Hammock. Puts it on the floor, then finds Blossom on the left. Pull up over Don't. Rebound tipped in by Hammock.
Well, he had great position. That was the key. The key to offensive rebounding is to get inside that defensive player, and Hammock was right place, right time that time.
5th and 6th points of the night for Hammock, who entering the ball game was tied for the team lead in scoring with Blossom. Nice dribble drive by Turner. The reach-in foul will be called on Bain. That's number 1 on Gene, and first team foul here in the second half of the Huskies.
You can see that last jump shot by Blossom, and there's Hammock inside the Terrier defenders. Coaches are always talking about boxing out, particularly on the defensive boards, and that time the Terriers were just watching that one.
Seymour moving great without the ball, couldn't get the shot to fall, but with the rebound, and then up and over Francois. 4th and 5th points of the night for the freshman from Pennsylvania, who was the leading scorer in the history of his high school, and Blossom comes right back with his second 3-pointer of the evening. He's got 8.
He's an interesting kid. He's at school on an academic scholarship, but he can shoot the 3-pointer as well.
Turner with the quick trigger on the 3. Don't with the rebound, and a fresh 35 for the Terriers, who are now down by 8. 2:20 gone second half.
Important for BU to keep it close early. This is the half-court pace that they want, but they've got to execute out of it. They've got to get it to the goal a little bit too, and see if they get themselves to the foul line.
Fitzgerald to Turner. Shot clock at 10. Seymour. Don't on the floor, goes right by Francois, who caught him from behind. It may have had a piece, but good hustle by Butt for the putback. So 4 quick second half points for Butt. 6-point Northeastern lead.
Butt does a nice job to have a nose for the ball inside. He's a big kid.
Bain to Hammock. Good ball movement by the Huskies. Blossom, nice spin move over Turner. And the weak side rebound is taken down by Francois, who goes right up and off the glass for his 9th and 10th points of the night.
That's offensive rebounding again by Northeastern. They've got to be boxed out. They're quick, they're athletic. Terriers have got to do the job in there.
Huskies lost their first 3 before beating North Carolina Greensboro. And Seymour with 3 more. He's got 15 points, his 3rd 3-pointer of the night. He was 2nd in the America East last year with 73 pointers as a freshman. Pull up Cranford. Looked like he got hit after he released the ball. And the rebound foul will be called on the Huskies. Foul will be on Hammock, and that will be his 3rd, 2 on the Huskies this half.
Good action inside. And you can see Butt with the finish up inside for the Terriers. And now BU's starting to go to the glass a little bit more, drawing the defense. And once again, Butt there, the freshman, to finish another one off.
So Hammock with 3 fouls will stay on the floor, at least for now. Seymour defended by Blossom.
Seymour always a threat. Gave that one a look from about 30. Saying, thinking about it.
Around the screen comes Collins for 3. Back rims it way up. Blossom and Cranford fight for the rebound, and Cranford comes away with it. Cranford, look at the pass off the dribble into the post, and a traveling violation will be called on Hammock. Timeout, 15:53 to go in Boston, and BU trailing Northeastern by 5. Northeastern by 5. A little more than 4 minutes gone by second half. BU to inbound on the baseline. Collins to inbound. And Ron, you seem to think that Collins is still struggling with that stress fracture. He's not moving freely.
No, he's not. I can notice it. You know, it's almost like when you've just sprained your ankle. You can see he's still got some discomfort.
Seymour with the missed rebound. Hammock quickly to Blossom. Blossom tries to blow by Breland on the dribble. Gets his own rebound. And now waits for the troops to regroup.
Well, Blossom shows you his strength right there. He is a strong kid. He 6'2", 180, but boy, he went up in traffic that time and still came back with the ball.
Cleo Morris, number 3 in the lineup for the Huskies. Cranford for 3. Back rims it, but the rebound pulled down by Francois. And a fresh 35. Hammock turnaround fires over Grokowalski.
Too many second looks right now if you're watching this game from the Terriers' point of view. Northeastern getting second and third chances, and they're cashing in.
Hammock now with 8 points, lead back up to 7. 5 minutes gone, second half. The America East opener for both of these teams, first of 18 conference games. Up high, Kudlats, defended by Francois. Seymour guarded by Blossom. Now pass into the post. Grokowalski got great position and drew the foul on Francois. And the America East leading free throw shooter will go back to the line where he's 2 of 3 tonight.
Nice entry pass that time to Grokowalski. And again, that strategy is a good one right now for Dennis Wolf to try to get it inside, see if they can go up strong. It's not a big front line for Northeastern. And how many times do you see it? The pump fake tends to be a good one. Get a man up off his feet, and then you draw the foul.
Look at Dennis Wolf. You played against Dennis in college, didn't you, when he was at UConn and you were at Holy Cross?
We overlapped. Get after it a little bit.
Dennis began his college career at LSU. First 2 years at LSU, last 2 at UConn under D. Rowe. Remains very close to D. Rowe to this day, as nearly all of D's former players do. First head coaching job was at Connecticut College, Division III level, and 30 and 18 there. Vast experience as an assistant at 2 ACC schools, Wake Forest and Virginia, at SMU back in the days of the Southwest Conference, and at St. Bonaventure in the Atlantic 10. Francois with a little turnaround jumper in the lane, so he now has a dozen.
The Northeastern's really executed well here tonight. They've gotten good shots, and they've made the most of it. And that's the difference in the game right now. 5-second call, too, right there. You've got to penetrate. Breland just doesn't get head and shoulders by the defensive man that time, and as a result, good setup down there. Gene Bain right on him. You got to get head and shoulders by him. That's 5 seconds. He's dribbling laterally, and Bain likes it. He's saying, hey, I got the job done.
Blossom, right sideline. Shot no good by Barnes, and the rebound comes to the near side. And on the run is Breland. Collins, down low Grokowalski, and he'll get to the line again. He's very skilled at that. Grokowalski out of St. John's High School, spent time at Worcester Academy, hometown in Shrewsbury, Mass.
Good look inside by Collins. I like the way Grokowalski went and caught it. And again, it's the same idea that we saw before, except BU pushes the ball that time. And Grokowalski's been in a good groove from the stripe.
Foul is on Dwayne Barnes. For Barnes, it's his second. Dennis Wolf, 96 and 85 here at Boston University. Closing in on Mike Jarvis's record of 101 career wins. Jarvis, the winningest coach in BU history.
A little full court pressure, and I think he's excited about this team too. He's got some very good young players on this club that is stepping right in, and they're productive.
Northeastern by 5. They led it by 4 at the half. 6.5 minutes gone second half. Right sideline, Cranford lobs it into the post, and Grokowalski will be called for the foul from behind. That's the sort of foul, Ron, that we may not have seen whistled a year ago. But again, with the points of emphasis this year, the officials say that you use your hand when you're defending a man in the post, you're going to get called.
Yeah, you've got to get your hands up, and Grokowalski's he's riding his man, he's pushing him out, and it's a good call right there.
Number 1 on Grokowalski. First team foul on the Terriers here in the second half. Right side, Blossom way up in the air. For the rebound is the tiny 5'9" Matt Turner. Grokowalski left side jumper, and equally high in the air, Blossom for the rebound.
Who says backcourt people don't get in the rebounding action? Get in there and mix it up.
Cranford, right side jumper. Rebound, Turner again. Outlet pass nearly stolen by Blossom. He got a hand on it. Turner in the lane.
Oh, hang time right there by Turner. Double pump action.
Matt Turner missed the last 16 games last year because of academic problems, making his presence felt in the last few moments here in the second half. The lead now down to 3, and we'll get another foul off the ball in the post on the Terriers.
Grokowalski again. Turner getting some good minutes out there for BU with his quickness. He matches up well with the quickness of Northeastern. Check it out right here. Up and under between the defense. That is a sweet move right there by Turner.
Turner's first points of the night. Second leading scorer on the year for the Terriers. The foul on Grokowalski, his second on the Terriers this half. Into the post it goes. Barnes with the little turnaround jump hook.
That's a nice job. Northeastern's been doing a pretty good job tonight of mixing it up between the jump shot. Defense has got to extend and then finding the open man inside. And with Hammock on the bench, Barnes stepping it up right now. 4
points for Barnes. Up high, Jerome Graham on the weave, hands to Turner. Tries to blow by Blossom, who really moved his feet well defensively. Down the lane, Breland. The C's kind of parted, and no one boxed out Graham.
Doesn't seem to be a lot of boxing out going on at either end right now. Some good offensive rebounding opportunities.
Graham had 2 points in 10 minutes entering the ball game and has 4 off the bench tonight. Left side, Francois, and that represents a career high for the freshman from West Palm Beach, Florida. Now with 14, he had 13 on opening night against Navy.
You love to see the ball reversed. Some nice penetration by the backcourt people, and when you pump it and make the bounce pass, you can really open up your teammates for some wide open shots.
They clear the side for Grokowalski, who wants to go on Cranford, then finds the cutter Graham, who misses the shot but gets hammered. So to the free throw line will go the 6'7" junior from Washburn High School in North Minneapolis.
It's good workmanlike effort here by Grokowalski. He draws 2 defenders. Francois tries to help out and then react, and suddenly you've got a little bit of inside action by the Terriers, which they really didn't have in the first half here tonight. Getting themselves to the foul line more, and that's a way to regroup, get yourself back into the game. And again, the pace of this game is still to the Terriers' liking. It's really a game of execution right now in the half-court set.
Foul on Francois, his third, as we look at Gene Bain, who takes a seat, as does Francois. BU as a team shooting 71% from the line entering tonight's ball game. And that's the second best percentage in the 10-team America East. Terriers will go right back at it in conference play on Tuesday night with a visit to Maine. Timeout, 11:04 remaining, and Dennis Wolf's club is pulled within 3. Bob Picozzi and Ron Perry back at Solomon Court in Boston. A 3-point Northeastern lead. This playing surface here at Cabot Gymnasium was renamed Solomon Court on November 28th after Northeastern benefactor Bernard Solomon. And as we look at the Francois Cranford contribution, as we mentioned, Francois already a career high, so Rudy Keeling getting some points from perhaps some unexpected sources. And off the inbound, Barnes dragged the pivot foot and is called for the turnover.
Nice job out of the timeout. Dennis Wolf's club with some full court pressure, creating the turnover, and they're hanging within a 3-point bucket right now. Seymour, the guy, of course, that can drain that one, and he's been well defended here in this second half.
Seymour with the ball, down low to Don't. Turner may have forced that one, but bottoms up. Turner is third in the America East in 3-point shooting percentage, 54% entering the ball game, and that is his first 3 in 3 attempts tonight.
Turner's matched up nicely tonight.
Oh, pushed there obviously by Fitzgerald as he went for the loose ball with Blossom. That will be number 1 on Fitzgerald and 3 on the Terriers this half.
This is good hustle here, though. There's a little bit of a reach, and both guys are pushing, but that was a definite shove by Fitzgerald at the end. Well, they wanted the basketball. Look at the denial by Turner. Guys are really turning it up right now. Got ourselves a good game.
And Rudy Keeling is going to call a timeout with only 2 seconds gone off the shot clock. So they'll have 33 to shoot when we return to action, all even at 49 with 10:31 to go. BU picks 6th in the America East preseason poll. We mentioned this is their America East opener, and they'll play at Maine in another league game on Tuesday. Then they will host UMass on Thursday. And then a 6-day layoff for final exams, a home game with James Madison, another 6-day layoff, and a short jaunt to Providence. And then after the new year, when they will play almost exclusively conference games, they'll play at New Hampshire on January 2nd. Last year, Dennis Wolf's club beat Northeastern in the opening round of the America East tournament before losing to Hofstra in the quarterfinals, and Hofstra, of course, went on to win the conference tournament, the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Hofstra with a big date next Saturday, Ron, at St. John's. It's a St. John's home game. It's at the Nassau Coliseum, which is about as far as is less distance from the Hofstra campus of the Nassau Coliseum than it is between these two schools here, BU and Northeastern.
It should be a good matchup, though.
In the lane, Blossom with the little finger roll. He's got 10.
A good balance again tonight by the Huskies in terms of scoring. You've got 3 guys in double figures, and Blossom got there with that basket. This game's all about getting it done each time down the floor. Good shots, don't turn it over.
Don't, with a good ball fake, forces Barnes to reach out and foul him. That will be number 3 on Barnes and 16 fouls on the Huskies. So it looks like the Terriers are going to have an opportunity to shoot some free throws down the stretch here tonight. 9:49 left, 1 more, and they go to the line.
Good free throw shooting team too, Bob. 72%. So, you know, these kind of close games often get decided from the stripe.
Seymour comes around the pick, catches it, and shoots it.
Boy, both teams want it. They're getting it done. That was a tough rainbow by Seymour.
He's 4 of 7 from 3-point range, 7 of 14 overall, 18 points and 4 rebounds. And BU once down 8, up by 1, but not for long as Francois comes back. Northeastern regaining the lead. He's got 16.
BU's had some success pounding it inside. The defense is really stretched right now.
Down the screen comes Turner. No good rebound. Graham and the foul. Jerome Graham had played in only 10 minutes in 3 games, only played in 3 of the first 5 games, and off the bench tonight already with 8 points and with a chance to make it 9.
Well, he's 6'7". He's got some good size, so he's out there and he's been effective. We've talked about the Huskies front line is not that big, so what's happening right now, some good putback opportunities for the Terriers, a chance for the 3-point play.
Graham's previous career high, 2 points. in a win over Quinnipiac in the opening round of the George Washington University tournament. The Terriers won that ball game, which gave them a 3-0 start, then lost to GW in the championship game.
Here's the pressure again.
BU 10 of 11 from the line tonight. On the run is Bain, and he will draw the foul. I think it might be Fitzgerald. It is. That will be number 2 on him and 4 on the team as we take another look.
We've seen both teams mix the defenses up a bit, particularly Boston University, and Graham just didn't establish position there against Gene Bain, but the reach coming from behind, I guess, by Fitzgerald on the dribble.
I think actually, Ron, they're going to call it on Collins. That will be number 1 on Collins.
Had to be a reach. It still looked like it was a block, but nevertheless the foul occurred before that.
Blossom, nice screen by West, enabled him to get that shot off. Francois way up for the rebound, and even higher, Collins with the rejection. Now the officials come together, and Rich Giolella discussing things with Gary Agger. Let's see what they come up with.
It was a strange play. It looked like 2 Northeastern players had the ball, and then somehow it ended up in the hands of West.
Now a 3-way discussion. Rudy Keeling, 51 years old, born in Harlem, New York. Played his college basketball at Quincy College in Illinois. There you see Collins with the rejection, and somewhere around while that ball was headed toward the corner, the whistle sounded.
I wonder if there's a shot clock question. I don't know if we were challenging the shot clock on that one. Bain had brought the ball up. A shot hadn't been taken, so the ball never did hit the rim.
Yeah, but with the foul call, that would have recycled the shot clock with that foul on Collins. So now Dennis Wolf and Rudy Keeling discussing things with Rich Giolella. And we'll see what they come up with. That 3-0 start for BU this year. The first 3-0 start in Dennis Wolf's 7 years as coach. Last time the Terriers started 3-0 was way back in 1985-86. They went on to the NIT that year.
It looks like the Terriers are going to get the ball out of bounds here, so we'll get clarification on that. But in any event, it was a rejection. Terriers got it, and they're going to take it out.
Here comes Graham. On the left, Collins. Picks up his dribble, now has trouble finding an open man, and it's Don't. Don't, a transfer from Cuesta Junior College in Southern California. Now the shot clock at 10. Down low, Collins, good position for the turnaround, and Graham take it away. He'll be called for an obvious over the back. But Graham has been quite active since coming off the bench, and frankly, Ron, very much a surprise. He has not figured in this BU rotation off the bench, getting many minutes, but he's really been productive tonight.
He has, and he brings some size and athleticism to the floor for Dennis Wolf's club, so wouldn't be surprised to see him play some more on the heels of what he's doing here tonight. Rudy Keeling hoping his team can execute and tie this ball game back up. They're down by a bucket right now.
Second foul on Graham, 5 in the second half on BU. It's a 2-point Terrier lead as we approach the 8-minute mark. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Ron Perry. We're coming your way from Solomon Court in Boston. Glad you could join us for our America East Game of the Week. And Gene Bain drilled that one practically from Kenmore Square. My goodness. That was his 7th three-pointer of the season, his first tonight in 3 attempts. And away from the play, a collision with West and Graham, and West will get nailed for his 3rd 8 on the team, and everything from here on in will result in the Terriers shooting free throws.
Really been a well-played game here tonight. Both clubs are getting at it. You can see the intensity level picking up right now. More bumping and banging, and the free throws will be very important down the stretch.
This should have been a 4.
Gene Bain with the nice touch.
You really see him get his legs into that, which is the key for any good deep shooter.
The junior guard for Medford. He's really bringing some leadership, and he brings some perseverance to this team as well.
So Graham makes the first free throw. He's got 10 points off the bench. joining Seymour as the only other Terrier in double figures thus far tonight. So we're tied at 56. And BU takes the lead as we take an official timeout. 7 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. We have a good one going in Boston. Gene Bain with the deep three, but his club trails by 1. A look at 45-year-old Dennis Wolf. Told me when we were talking about the record, I asked him, I said, how do you feel as you're approaching this record? 6 wins away from breaking Mike Jarvis's record for most wins as a BU coach. He said, I wasn't made aware of it until Thursday. I've been fortunate to coach good players. A record like this is always a reflection on your players and your staff.
Humble response, but he's done a very nice job.
Out of the official timeout, Bain tries the deep three again. Can't get this one to fall. BU with the ball up 1, 7:30 remaining. Seymour over Blossom, who made that one as tough as possible. Seymour, being a righty, had to kind of shoot that one against the grain.
Blossom's done a nice job denying Seymour the ball. Seymour moves very well without it, but he just hasn't had the shot attempts in the second half. I bet he does down the stretch, though, in a tight ball game.
Hammock back in the lineup. Seymour now with 15 shots on the night, but 10 of the 15 came in the first half. 12 points at halftime, 6 more here in the second half. On the right, Brokowalski gets by Agar and draws the foul. You'll notice Agar wearing 33 instead of number 40. That's because first half he got cut, or I don't know whether he was cut, but he got some blood on the uniform, so had to switch numbers at halftime. So now wearing number 33, and he'll do some watching from the bench.
Might have been covering Brokowalski, who did get cut in the first half and had to come out of the game when he was shooting a pair of free throws.
Foul on Agar is his first. That's 9 on the team. And Brokowalski at the free throw line now 7 of 8 tonight, so that won't hurt that league leading percentage at all. So that makes him 23 of 25. That's 92%.
Getting it done. So important when you're in this kind of game, and the Terriers up by a couple. Had a great trap down there, but perhaps a little bit too strong with the reach in.
That'll be team foul number 6 on the Terriers, and personal number 3 on Brokowalski, who will leave, replaced by Stain Don't. Stain spells his first name S-T-I-J-I-N, pronounced Stain. He's from Bochum, Belgium. Had a big game against Harvard, but he struggled tonight, Ron, with only 2 points. Hasn't
had a lot of looks, but he's a hard-nosed player out there. This is where you really got to dig in right now. The Terriers, it's like they're still playing the matchup zone defense. Blossom right there with Seymour.
Blossom holds over the head. Shot clock at 10. Barnes looks inside. Reach in foul will be called on Don't, and that will put the Terriers over the limit. For Don't, that'll be his second 7 on the team, and now the Huskies will go to the line to shoot the 1-1.
You can see the matchup by the Terriers. They do a good job. Don't started to go through the lane, passed his man off, then reached. And as quite often is the case, the defensive player in disbelief over the call.
Cranford misses the free throw. Rebound Seymour. BU with the ball up 3. 6:40 left. They trailed by as many as 8. Down 4 at the half. Cranford knocks it out of bounds. BU ball with 24 left on the shot clock.
Cranford, another kid who could heat it up for the Huskies down the stretch. He's quieted down in this second half. I look for the go-to guys, though, with 6.5 to go, a tight game. Marcus Blossom for Northeastern and Paul Seymour for the Terriers, stepping it up for their club.
Final tonight in the America East, Maine winning at Delaware, 74-68.
Nice
Black
win.
Bears are about the only team in the league that can win at Delaware.
That's a nice win. They got beat at Towson fairly handily the other night.
Inside butt, head fake, and lays it in, so now the lead is up 5.
That's a big basket. Suddenly, you know, BU has just systematically gotten themselves back in the game ahead, and now Northeastern has got to regroup.
9 points for Bud as Rudy Keeling takes a timeout. Remember, Ron, we mentioned earlier in the telecast that the other night in the loss here to Holy Cross, the Huskies had 19 fewer free throw attempts. Well, thus far tonight, BU 14 of 15 from the line. Northeastern 0 for 3.
Big difference. That's jump shooting versus pounding it in. And in the second half of this game, the Terriers looked to go inside, and they've been getting some action like this. This is a clean one, no free throws, but getting it into your people inside. The Huskies have struggled this year without the big post game, but with their quickness, I think Rudy Keeling's saying right now, guys, we've got to execute and penetrate to the basket.
Game summary: Jean Francois with the career high 16 points along with 6 rebounds and 5 block shots tonight. Seymour leading BU with 18. The 3-point story: BU with 5 of them, Northeastern with 4, and we just mentioned the free throw disparity. And it all adds up to a 5-point BU lead as we approach the 6-minute mark. On the left, Francois head fake, then the runner over butt. Rebound comes to Seymour. It's his 7th of the night.
A nice job right there by Fitzgerald. Rebound, now you're in charge. Work the shot clock, and this is controlling the tempo right here by BU, half-court style.
Don't. Up high, looking for the back door, but Northeastern took it away. There's the back door, and it just wasn't there. Bain defended it well, but Don't tried to force it, and it winds up in turnover number 12 for the Terriers.
Excellent denial defense that time. I think Turner, with his quickness, got to handle the ball a little bit more for the Terriers. He's quick enough to go by some people. Turnovers very close in this one. Again, 12-11. Both teams have done a decent job with the basketball.
Only 1 turnover for the Huskies in the second half, only 2 for BU. Another 30-second timeout taken by Rudy Keeling with 5:23 to go and 22 seconds left on the shot clock, and BU up by 5.
It's a good timeout. Rudy Keeling just not happy with what he's seeing out on the floor. Doesn't think his team is in sync. Take that quick 30-second timeout. It's a 5-point ball game. You got to get the momentum going back in your favor.
We mentioned the Boston University upcoming schedule. Northeastern will take 6 days off after tonight, then visit Rhode Island next Saturday, and then 11 days off for final exams and a visit to Indiana and in the Indiana tournament. And then they'll play Valparaiso or Colorado State in the second night of that tournament, and back into conference play on January 2nd at Maine, and 3 days later at home against Drexel. By the way, that win tonight at Delaware for Maine, it's its 3rd straight win at Delaware in regular season play, although we should hasten to add that in the conference semifinals last year, in the same facility, Delaware came up with a win.
It's not an easy place to get it done, that's for sure.
A 3 for Seymour. It's his 5th 3 of the night. He's got 21 points and 7 rebounds, 5 for 8 from behind the arc. Biggest lead of the night for BU at 8.
Seymour's really playing an excellent all-around game for the Terriers. That's a big bucket.
And Barnes comes right back for 3 at the other end. His first 3 of the night. He's got 7.
Barnes 2 times in a row. He was undaunted after missing it the last time and just stuck that one.
Seymour defended by Blossom. And away from the play, we'll get a whistle. And Bain evidently will be called for the hold. For Jean, that will be his personal foul number 2 and 10 on the team. So not only will BU go to the line, but they'll shoot 2 from here on in. Free throw line goes Kevin Fitzgerald, 6'2" freshman from St. Francis Prep in Belle Harbor, New York. Back rims the first. He's got 2 points tonight, had 6 steals in a win over Liberty earlier this season.
He's a scrappy player. He's quick, gets after it out there. Fitzgerald at the line, and I think we were just looking at Ricky Cranford with the towel over his head. He's going to check in. Rudy Keeling needs some offense out of Cranford. He was lighting it up in the first half.
That miss by Fitzgerald on his first attempt, only the 2nd miss of the night for BU from the line. 15 of 17 from the free throw line. And again, Northeastern has committed 10 team fouls this half, so BU figures to get many more opportunities from the line. If they can keep up that pace, they could put this one away. Blossom can't get it to go, but he does draw the foul. This will be called on Fitzgerald. And to the free throw line will go the 17th leading scorer in Northeastern history, Marcus Blossom. With his 10 points tonight, he has gone over the 1,100 mark for his career at 1,109.
Seeing two very different halves in this ball game as you see Marcus Blossom's numbers on the evening. He's played a very solid game. He's covered Seymour at the other end. He's having a big night, but he's really making him work for it. A lot more fouls in this second half, a much more aggressive pace. That first half was mainly jump shots by both clubs.
Rudy Keeling telling the story of Marcus Blossom. He said, here's a kid which nobody knew anything about. He called us to set up a visit. And when he came, he liked the school and decided to come. The circumstances, when you consider the career he's had, are rather amazing.
Well, the academic scholarship to come in, so that's a pretty nice call to get, huh? He turned into a good one.
Now, Rudy should have just said, well, we were recruiting him right from the get-go. But with the basket and the foul. Big night for Ryan Butt. He now has 11 points coming off a scoreless effort in the loss at Harvard on Tuesday.
Nice job by Don't. Draws the defense, and we've seen some nice passing by the Terriers, particularly in this second half, getting the ball inside. Good help out defense, but no rotation in front of Butt. Butt did have a 19-point game against George Washington already this year, and he's played solidly down low in this one.
Yeah, not only with a dozen points tonight, but 5 of 6 from the floor. He'll get a rest, and back in is Graham, who's got 11 points off the bench. And Graham has yet to miss a shot tonight. He's hit all 3 from the floor around and all 5 from the line.
Huskies got to get some more actions to the goal. They're just settling for jumpers right now.
And on the rebound, it will be a held ball. Graham and Cranford. And the possession arrow will point toward BU. Timeout, 3:52 remaining. It's BU by 7. .352 remaining, BU by 7. We told you about Paul Seymour at the beginning of the night, that the Terriers would rely on him. Well, they have, and he's come through in a big way.
He really has. At 6'6", he can shoot it from the outside, but he can also rebound and go up strong inside. He's the top 3-point shooter on the team, and he has been dynamite from that distance tonight, making some big ones throughout the ball game.
He's 5 from 8 from behind the arc, 8 of 16 overall for 21 points and 7 rebounds. But on the inbound pass, the Terriers throw it away. Their 13th turnover of the night.
Northeastern really needs one here. BU's been on a good roll in this ball game, particularly the last 10 minutes. To see if Northeastern gets something going to the basket. If they don't score, get to the line.
Francois, great head fake, got Seymour up in the air. Gets the shooter's touch.
He's played an excellent game tonight for the Huskies.
Career high 18 points. The full court pressure employed by the Huskies, down 5 with 3:20 left. Collins. Defended by Sanford. Now on the right, it's Seymour with Blossom right with him. The defensive intensity is really picked up out of the timeout.
Really tight. This may be susceptible to a backdoor cut if BU can extend the floor and work the pump fake.
Right side jumper. Seymour is 6th of the night.
Oh, baby, he's got the feel, doesn't he, Bob, tonight? I mean, the defense is in his face on that one, and he's knocking it down.
24 points for Paul Seymour. And as Cranford starts to go, we'll get a foul on the floor on the Terriers. Might be on Graham.
I mean, this is good defense here by Northeastern. I mean, there's a pick and roll. Bang. You've got, maybe the hands could have been up in the face a little bit more there by Barnes with the jump step out. But Seymour with the quick release. Yeah, you got to get the hands up a little bit higher against Seymour, the way he's shooting it. come out and make him give it up. But give credit to Seymour. He's really wanting the ball and making the big shots tonight.
So at the free throw line will go Cranford. As you see what he's done tonight, as Collins will sit down. While Collins was at Rutgers for 2 years, he appeared in 24 games, averaged 1.5 per game and 6 minutes per game. He was the New Hampshire High School Player of the Year at Bishop Grady High in Concord. And this is after sitting out last year because of the transfer his first year in a Boston University uniform, and only his second game because of that stress fracture which cost him the first 4.
Here's Seymour again with another big rebound as Cranford can only get one of the 2, and this is possession basketball now. BU, work the clock, get good shots, make your free throws when you have to go through the stripe.
And Bain will be called for the, no, they're going to call it the other way.
Drag the pivot foot, that's a big turnover.
Turner with the travel, turnover number 14 for BU. 7-point Terriers lead, 2:20 remaining. BU has won the last 3 games in this series, winning all 3 last year, sweeping the home and home in the regular season and beating Northeastern again in the America East tournament. Following the miss,
they're going to look for a little help there. I think it was hit by Francois off the bottom of the backboard. And they're going to say that was out of bounds. The question is who hit it off the back of the board.
Joe Vigna with the call, and he says it was last touched by Francois.
It's a good call. Good teamwork too by the officials that time.
So Seymour to inbound. Again, the Huskies with the full court pressure. Easily beating it is Fitzgerald. Gives to Dunk, who will circle the wagons. They look for the back door, but thought the better of it. Now on the right, Fitzgerald, and away from the play. We're going to get a timeout called by Dennis Wolf with 1:57 remaining and 21 seconds left on the shot clock.
I thought Don't did a nice job that time to not force the action. By the time he got the pass from Fitzgerald, it really wasn't there, so he works the shot clock. The biggest advantage right now that the Terriers have is the clock running down. Nice timeout by Dennis Wolf. So it's a game of strategy right now for BU to take good care of the ball, make their free throws, and for Northeastern to keep the pressure on. They've got to push the pace right now and get it to the basket.
Boston University has been to the NCAA tournament 5 times in its history. The last time was in 1997 when they finished first in the America East and then won the America East Conference Tournament and the automatic NCAA tournament bid that goes with it. The furthest the Terriers ever advanced in NCAA play was the Final 8. They got to the regional finals way back in 1959. Also been to a couple of NITs in the 80s, in 1980 and again in 86, but so far under Dennis Wolf's watch, the Terriers have gone to the NCAA tournament 1 time. They've won or shared 2 regular season conference titles and the 1 conference tournament title in '97 when Dennis was named the America East Coach of the Year. They had a great rivalry for a couple years running, Ron, with Drexel. They really went head-to-head in regular season play and into the conference finals.
Always a good matchup, and we've got the Huskies right now in a zone defense. Stain missing the 3. Rebound Blossom. Here comes Northeastern down 7. Bain for 3. Weak side rebound. Barnes in the putback, cutting the lead to 5. Wow. Strong rebound on the weak side. And a very tough kind of jump hook. And here's the pressure by Northeastern. We've got ourselves a 5-point game. Quick reach in.
Foul will be called on Cranford. Barnes now with 9 points tonight. 2 shy of his career high.
Nice weak side rebound. There's Barnes. That's generally where those shots go. It's taken from the right side. The ball, if it misses, generally will go to the other side. Got to box out. And as we said before, the Terriers with a great chance in this game to put it away from the stripe. And Rudy Keelan keeping the pressure on. Look at the differential in this game. If they're able to pull it out, this game, the separations from the charity stripe, big time.
Foul on Cranford, his third. Back in the lineup is Billy Collins. Collins only was able to practice 5 times before playing in his first game the other night at Harvard. And Dennis Wolf said he really was only able to go for about half to practice those 5 times. So he was very, very rusty the other night against Harvard. But I think probably has the cobwebs out. Looks much more closer to normal tonight. Long three, no good by Barnes. On the rebound, Cranford keeps it alive. Blossom can't get it to fall. And it's pulled down by Collins with exactly a minute to go. Quickly up the floor, Fitzgerald 3-on-1 if they hurry. And Fitzgerald hammered from behind by Barnes.
Well, one of the big keys in the second half of this game, and Dennis Wolf had put it in his game plan, they didn't just trade jump shots with Northeastern. The first half, Northeastern won that battle going into the locker room with a lead. There's your foul. But Terriers really pounded the ball inside in this second half. They got Northeastern over the bonus situation, and the foul shots have really mounted as a result of that game plan.
4th foul on Barnes. Fitzgerald has 2 of BU's 3 misses from the line in 20 attempts tonight. Checking back in will be Francois for the Huskies. These 2 teams last met here. It was last February 5th. BU won it 58-55. The other 2 BU wins last year over Northeastern much more one-sided. One of them by 17 and then by 26 in the conference tournament. So another miss by Fitzgerald, but the rebound kept alive by the Terriers, and Blossom is forced to foul, and so right back to the free throw line will go Fitzgerald.
That is huge when you don't come up with the defensive rebound off the free throw. Rudy Keeling is feeling that and thinking that right now. You've got to get possession of the basketball. Terriers continue to have these opportunities from the stripe.
Rudy Keeling told me yesterday, I'm disappointed with the way the season's gone this far. I think we should have 1 or 2 more wins. We need to get a better defensive understanding out of our new players.
Well, I think they've played hard on defense tonight, and for a good portion of the game, they were keeping the Terriers down shooting-wise, but it's been the inside play that's really made the difference in this second half for BU.
The America East final in non-conference play. Drexel losing 68-54 to Philadelphia rival St. Joe's. And Bain missing the runner but drawing the foul on Stain Don't. His second, and Bain, the 1999 America East Rookie of the Year, will go to the free throw line. Boy, there was a wild finish today in New England. UConn, ranked number 12 in the country, or 13 rather, at home against number 5 Arizona. And UConn won it by 2 on a very controversial goaltending call at the buzzer. Lauren Woods, the great All-American for Arizona, who had to serve a 6-game suspension. This was his first game of the year, and he was called for goaltending on a Tony Robertson shot at the buzzer, giving UConn a 2-point win.
Wild finish. You won't see that very often at all, but for Northeastern right now, they make that free throw. They've got to come up with some steals defensively, and for the Terriers, the key is to take good care of the ball and make the free throws. Rudy Keeling saying now, all out pressure. Let's see if we can turn it over.
Lead is 8 with 43 seconds to go. BU beats the pressure, gets it into the forecourt. Now Northeastern will have to foul, and Barnes does.
Fitzgerald's done a nice job. The freshman guard, hard nose, handle the ball well. I can see why Dennis Wolf is excited about him, and Matt Turner has certainly stepped in and done well in the backcourt as well. Solid team play by BU, working the ball around, and clearly big differential in this second half from the foul line.
So at the free throw line will go Ryan Butt, a 6'7" freshman who went to Hempfield Area High School in Landisfield, Pennsylvania. 12 points tonight, now a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. He's the 9th leading rebounder in the America East. Collins returning to the lineup for BU. The lead is back up to 9 with 36 seconds left.
And the problem for the Huskies right now is they're just running out of time with 36 seconds. They're going to have to make some threes now and then reach in, but the Terriers have been stubborn because they've been making the foul shots.
Across the midcourt line is Bain, right sideline. It's Cranford. Now Bain throws up the three, got it, and we'll get a quick timeout with 26 seconds left. And the BU lead cut to 7 on Gene Bain's second three-pointer of the season. Bain missed the last 10 games last season with a torn right ACL. Had a great game at Miami, Ron, in the second game of the year with 17 points and a career-high 11 assists. That might have been Northeastern's best performance of the season, losing only by 6 at Miami.
Played very well. They've played some people tough early. Part of the problem as Rudy Keeling gets, this young team and new players together here is that they've had trouble getting over the hump and winning some games. The North Carolina Greensboro, and in this game they were in command for much of this game, but BU kept kind of pecking away at them, getting it inside, getting it into the trenches. In Northeastern, where they were exposed a bit, was down under the basket in this one. Rudy Keeling over there drawing it up, though, saying, hey, play some D, let's turn it over, and let's see if we can knock down a couple more threes. There's still 26.8 seconds left in this game.
BU is 12-7 lifetime in America East openers. And this is the first conference game of the season for both teams. So Northeastern will obviously go for the quick steal, and if they don't get it, presumably they'll have to foul.
Yeah, Northeastern is out of timeouts now. Boston U still has 3 30-second timeouts, so they've got a lot of weapons left. You can do that. You can pass the ball out of bounds like that when you're heavily pressured. That went Seymour over to Turner and then back into Seymour. That's a smart play because now they get their top scorer to the foul line to shoot.
And it will be Seymour, and it's his first appearance at the line tonight. He's 9 of 17 from the floor, 6 of 9 from three-point range. This is only his 11th free throw attempt of the season, Ron. He's made 6 of his first 10. That would be the free throw line of a jump shooter, wouldn't it? 10 free throw attempts in the first 5 games for a guy who's got the ball in his hands as often as he does.
And he also goes inside some. We saw him rebound well tonight. So
jump center.
I think we'll see him pop a few more up before the year's over. He rattled that one home.
Seymour makes 1 of the 2, so he's got 25 tonight. The lead up to 8 with 21 seconds remaining. Francois, or Cranford, missing the 3. Long rebound comes out to Seymour, who's fouled again, and that'll pretty much wrap this one up. Seymour, with his 25 points tonight, has established a new career high. Had 24 at New Hampshire last February 24th. 25 tonight, a chance to add to it.
He's a good-looking young player. We saw him last year, of course, as the America East Rookie of the Year. He can fill it up. Got a good presence out there. And Dennis Wolf clearly happy he's got this young player that is getting better and better with each game.
Dennis was telling me he's very pleased, obviously, with Seymour. Was the Rookie of the Year last year.